All right, let's ride. Good afternoon, family. Good afternoon. Welcome to the amazing show. I'm your host, Mr. O here. Once again, it's September 5th, 2016. Happy Labor Day weekend to everybody. And I know everybody went out there and partied and clubbed their behind off last night, especially here in South Florida, particularly at a club over there in South Beach. Hashtag live on Sundays. Give a shout out to them. Headliner, Michael Gardner. But, today to day, I always do my current event Mondays, so I always do two podcasts per day on Mondays. And as y'all well know, um, the Colin Kaepernick thing is still catching fire, and I'm glad it is, to be honest with you. Because the fact of the matter is, it's got the country talking. It's got the country talking. And, as of recent, it's also been like a lot of hatred, as my good friend Irvin Griffin say, and I agree with him. It's a selective outrage, and then you got some people out here using the military as the straw man and saying like, oh well, he ain't respecting the flag. Oh, da 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 da. He not respecting the military who fought for his freedoms and so like that. And we already debunked that military vets that are former and currently enlisted have came out and supported Kaepernick and telling these fake patriots, don't speak for me. Don't speak for me. You weren't speaking up for them when they don't get their VA benefits or anything like that. So why the fuck you gonna get out here and go speak for them now? Did you even speak to a veteran? Did you even offer to buy them lunch? Or if you see them, they do anything like that? No, you haven't. My good friend Harvey, Mr. Superboy 223, that's a military vet right there. And he can tell you, my brother is a military vet. And even they don't want these old fake ass patriots to speak for me, to speak for them. None whatsoever. They fought for country so that way, for the freedom and civil liberties and the constitutional rights, so that way Kaepernick, myself, and a few others could get out here and have the right to protest, the free speech, freedom of expression, freedom of religion, freedom of belief, and everything. So like that. Amidst all the idiots that goes out here and that burning Colin Kaepernick's jersey. Some people went out there and bought it, and Irv has already mentioned that you still put money back in his pocket, and then on top of that, um, you know what I'm saying? His jersey, by the way, is happened to be the number one selling jersey in the 49er store, but also in the NFL store. It surpassed Joe Montana's, Jerry Rice, and Ronnie Lott. And I'm surprised. I'm glad it kind of surpassed Jerry Rice because of that bitch move that he did. So fuck him. But amidst all that, you also had like current and former players like the asshole that I hate the most formerly for the New England Patriots, former San Diego Chargers, Rodney Harrison, when he said that absurd comment that Colin Kaepernick isn't black. And the mixed race don't count. But then 24 hours later, he turned around and retracted that statement. Nah, bro, you can't retract that. It's too late now. Shit, once you went out there and you put it online, that's it. But he was a coon anyway, and as well as a cheap shot artist. So, on the field and off the field. So he's a bona fide 100% USDA grade A clown and an asshole to boot. So I could care less. Now, as I also what about and seen that another least favorite person of mine, Jesse Jackson, came out. He was on Fox News Radio. Oh God, Jesus, messy Jesse. Said like, um, yeah, you think I wasn't gonna call out Jesse Jackson, but I'm calling his ass out now. I called his ass out for years. And he said, "Oh, I wouldn't have did what Kaepernick would have did." It's but at the same time like that. But you know what? How in the world you gonna trust a person that had a hand in helping help set up the assassination of Martin Luther King? You know, is it right? Because I've been saying that all along. Because if Jesse Jackson's supposed to be so great, and see, this is something that the younger generation behind me, they don't know this about Jesse Jackson. But you ask one of the old heads, even older than me, they'll tell you. You know, oh, better yet, what you could do, you could go on YouTube right now, type in Steve Coakley. Enough said. One of the master teachers and one of my mentors, the late great Steve Coakley. Happy belated birthday, Steve. Rest in paradise, my brother. But here's a sliver of shining light. Our commander in chief, President Obama. Yeah, I have some issues with him, but regardless of the fact, though, he did one thing, and it can't. This coming out of the Chicago Tribune. Saying Obama, Colin Kaepernick exercising his constitutional right. And I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to come back with my commentary on this. President Barack Obama said San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick is exercising his constitutional right to sit out the U.S. national anthem. But the president acknowledged that the silent protest is a quote-unquote tough thing for military service members to accept. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. Okay, just for the record, Colin Kaepernick never mentioned anything about disrespecting the military. He's sitting down in protest. He's sitting down in protest saying he's not going to stand for a flag, stand up and put his hand over heart to a flag that oppresses, that's doing a social and racial injustice to black people and people of color. Now, in 1996, we all know the basketball player formerly known as Chris Jackson, named Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, who played the point guard for the Denver Nuggets. He did the same thing. And, not only a few people attacked him, but also Akeem Olajuwon, and I think somebody else came out there and attacked him. The only one that really defended him, and and I got to give major props on that back in that time, was Shaquille O'Neal. I seen it right there in the article, right there on the front page of the Miami Herald. He said, like, man, sure, everybody has different beliefs, have different rights. People just need to respect that. And Shaq still says that to this day. But that's another topic. I mean, it's similar to it, but I'll get on Shaq some other time. Let me continue. At his news conference in China on Monday, the president said he did not doubt Kaepernick's sincerity in his decision not to stand for the anthem ahead of the team's game to protest the treatment of African Americans by law enforcement authorities in U.S. City. Obama noted a long history of sports figures protesting political or social issues in reference to Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, John Carlos, Tommy Smith, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Those guys, my heroes that I grew up admiring. There are a lot of ways you can do it. And he said that at the G20 summit here. As a general matter, when it comes to the flag and the national anthem and the meaning that holds for our men and women in uniform and those who fought for us, that is a tough thing for them to get past to hear what his deeper concerns are. Again, I'm going to reiterate that. He did not mention the military. See, this is the media's way of using the military as a straw man, saying like, oh, well, Kaepernick, he's not standing up, he's not respecting the military. I would like these idiots to go back, these chowder heads to go back and show me or read to me or make an audio file read or saying where did he say anything about protesting against the military. Go ahead, I'll wait. All I hear nothing is crickets and bullfrogs. Let me continue. But I don't doubt his sincerity. I think he cares about some real, legitimate issues that have to be talked about. If nothing else, he's generated more conversation about issues that have to be talked about. Okay, that I will agree with you on, Mr. Obama. You know, but you're saying that he cares about real legitimate issues that you fail to address and act upon. You, that so-called shell of Attorney General Loretta Lynch, you know, and the Department of Jackasses, they haven't done anything. That's why I have more respect for Eric Holder than I do this lady that's there now. You know, let me continue. Obama said he has not closely followed the controversy surrounding Kaepernick's actions while he's been overseas. I don't see how he can't follow it. I mean, this is 21st century. This is the technology age. Everybody's got a smartphone. Everybody's got a tablet. Everybody's got wireless internet. I can't see how you couldn't follow that. But he said he was aware of the public response, which has been sharply divided. What you mean has been sharply divided? It always been sharply divided. Not just about Kaepernick, but the whole racial demographic period. The president has sought to balance his own response to the unrest and mistrust in American cities between African Americans and police officers over the past several years, including in Baton Rouge and Dallas. Okay. You heard me talk in the past about the need for us to have an active citizenry, Obama said. Sometimes that's messy and controversial and gets people angry and frustrated, but I'd rather have young people that are engaged in the argument and trying to think through how they can be part of our democratic process than people just sitting on the sidelines not participating at all. My suspicion is that over time he's going to refine how he thinks about it. Maybe some of his critics will start seeing that he had a point about concern about justice and equality. That's how we move forward. Let me give you a reality check, Mr. Obama. You know, now the title of my podcast is Obama Defends Kaepernick. Yes, but at the same time, you kind of subliminally throw Kaepernick under the bus, which ain't no surprise because you're a politician. You know, and politicians do what they do. So it's really no surprise to me on that because after all, you know, you're just the president. You're the leader of the free world because, I mean, you don't have that much to say because after all, your Congress has been hijacked by a bunch of white supremacists on both sides, Democrat and GOP. And you about to put Hitler in, might slide his way in there. Whether he's wearing pants or she's wearing a skirt. But let me throw my spin on this. Now, as you see in the picture, I got a President Obama in there. And you also see I got them two Sambos and handkerchief heads in there too. Rodney Harrison and Jesse Jackson. You know, Rodney Harrison ain't really got much to talk about. You know, he trying to slide with that whole thing. Oh, well, Colin Kaepernick's not black. You know, so that he trying to throw shade on him while trying to throw the question off on him and all that. See, he think he being slick, bruh. You ain't being slick, not one doggone bit. You know. And then he turns around and retract the statement. But he's always been a coon, even during his time with the New England Patriots. You know, being a butt plug for Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft as well as Tom Brady. So there's no surprise to me when it comes down to Rodney Harrison. I've always said he's been a fuckboy, and I still consider him that to this day. I still consider him that to this day. But yeah. But Jesse Jackson, his comment on there, it doesn't really surprise me. It doesn't surprise me not one damn bit. But I'm gonna say that what I think about Jesse Jackson for Saturday, because see, like I said, I've been knowing about this for years, and I think a few people have like caught on, or if you ain't caught on to him popping up in Ferguson back in 2014, and y'all called the blacks down there in Ferguson stupid for getting out there. Some of my colleagues say like he was stupid. They were stupid for running Jesse Jackson up out of there. No, they had a reason to run Jesse Jackson ass up out of Ferguson. Okay. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a little story about with Jesse Jackson, and I stand behind my stance of what I said about him having a hand in the assassination of Martin Luther King. A lot of people don't know this, but see, Dr. King never trusted Jesse. Never trusted Jesse at all. And because see, King knew for a long time that Jesse was no doubt pronto government plant. Okay. And see, if you don't believe me, you ain't got to believe me. Do your research and just look up the YouTube videos of Steve Coakley on his take on where he break it down beautifully about Jesse Jackson's hand in Martin Luther King's assassination. And by the way, Steve Coakley, he's from Chicago, so he definitely knows. Because guess what? Jesse, just like Al Sharpton, they still in the back pockets of some people high up in the government anyway, like that, because they getting little compensations for that, just to go ahead to quote unquote quell, to keep the quote unquote keep the Negroes in line. That's what that is. No different than that motherfucking mega coon sheriff up in Milwaukee County, David Clark. His bitch ass talking all that tough stuff. We on Fox News and everything until them uprisings went out and a gas station blow up. He started running behind the skirt of one of his spokeswomen. Like, fuck him. But my ire is at Jesse Jackson. My ire is at Rodney Harrison, because Rodney Harrison may be out of a job come Sunday Night Football. Well, see, Rodney Harrison, he's always I ain't really got nothing good to say about him. Just like I ain't got nothing good to say about Victor Coons, Jerry Rice, Tiki Barber. Now all of a sudden, Drew Brees, he comes out with his dumbass comment, and then now all of a sudden, Ben Roethlisberger saying that he don't approve on it. Well, ain't this something? Old big band, old backwood hillbilly Peckerwood talking all this, saying that Kaepernick did was inappropriate. Well, let's talk about them two women that you raped with your bodyguard covering up for you. That was inappropriate, Mr. Roethlisberger. So you really shouldn't have just shut up. You really shouldn't have said nothing at all. You should have just kept your goddamn mouth shut. Same thing go for Sham Newton. I ain't really got much to say on him because it just kind of pains me to see him coon like that. But, and on top of that, with Rodney Harrison, I'm going to get back to his statement talking about saying Colin Kaepernick not black enough. I say, man, probably more black than me and you combined and everything. And we need to stop this in the community, talking about saying that, mixed race people aren't black. Obviously you don't know nothing about genetics. You never studied health. You never took health class, or you don't know anything about chromosomes or genes or anything like that. Because let me just make this very clear, and I'm going to say newsflash. Colin Kaepernick is a brother. All you got to look at his features. They're still Afrocentric. They said the same thing about Adam Clayton Powell. Majority of people thought he was a white man, but nah, he's a brother. Pull up a picture or Google a picture of Adam Clayton Powell, and you'll see why. Shoot. So if you saying that Colin Kaepernick isn't black, Rodney Harrison, that's just like you saying that Colin Powell isn't black either. But he got a low cut fro. Or you saying that President Obama isn't black. And it clearly shows that. You know, I mean, this guy, you know, I believe he took too many hits to the head, or he was hitting people with the helmet too hard. You know what I'm saying? And it jarred some brain cells loose through his nose and through his ears. You know, because that is the most asinine statement I've ever heard anybody say. And it's just like what Harvey, Mr. Superboy 223 said. Even back during slavery days, Negroes spoke a lot more better compared to what this dumbass doing right now. You know, I believe he just trying to get his little 15 minutes of fame or relevancy, because, you know, Colin Kaepernick right now is a hot topic. And I just had found out 24 hours ago that prior to NFL season that starts Thursday, I believe, that Colin Kaepernick won't be the starter for the 49ers in the first home opener against the Los Angeles Rams. It'll be Blaine Gabbert. But you know what? Look who's the coach over there. Chip Kelly. Enough said. But this is what Rodney Harrison and what Jesse Jackson doing is basically, as Professor Black Truth and Jason Black would say, and I agree, they just using the same old playbook. The same white supremacist playbook, you know. And, you know, they becoming like Stephen A. Smith too. God damn it, I can't forget about your ass. I haven't heard nothing from that fat roly-poly motherfucker Charles Barkley either, but I'm waiting for it to come. They just being attack dogs for white supremacy. And let me tell you, like with Jesse, well, you out there doing the march with King and all that, yeah, but you got your own agendas. You still getting compensation for it. I can recall a story how he went in there and he got like a exceptional amount from Coca-Cola, saying that he told them that and this was like from one of my master teachers, late great C. Freeman L., you know, rest in paradise, that he went in there and he got like over $1 million from them, or somewhere in that amount, and he did it without a gun, because he simply told them, okay, I'll tell black people, I will just let them know to stop having black people stop buying Coca-Cola. You don't believe me? Look it up. But yeah, those two handkerchief heads really make me sick. Jesse Jackson is no surprise to me personally. Rodney Harrison, just a punk, no doubt. Always has been, always will be. You know, Jerry Rice, Victor Coons, who else? Tiki Barber. Those Victor Coons and Tiki Barber don't need to talk. You got one that cheated on his fiance, and then another one, he left his wife to go marry his side piece, Tiki Barber. You know, which basically goes to show that he's one of those reasons. He's the template why there are no black fathers in the black household these days in America. Because see, he's still thinking he's a player, but you know, Tiki Barber has always been a simp to me anyway. You know, want to get out here trying to think he want to try to play. Now I can't call him Captain Saberho. That's the title belonged to Roland Martin. How he went on ahead and attacked Tariq Nasheed the other night. And I'm gonna jump on. I'll probably do something like that later on tonight though, because I got some issues with Roland Martin right about now. Serious issues. Real serious issues. Big time. But I'm gonna just go ahead. I'm gonna keep this thing short and sweet because if anything, I'll probably be back later on. I might broadcast live from an undisclosed location, um, or maybe not. But that was just one my take because my take on it. Because like one thing for certain, Colin Kaepernick's got the country talking, and my stance on him, I still stand behind Colin Kaepernick 10 million%. I put him right there in the same category with my hero, rest in paradise, Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Back then, he was known as Lou Alcindor, John Carlos, Tommy Smith. You know, those guys. They that's what it's supposed to be about. Um, the current handkerchief heads. Number 25 over there in Seattle, and that there really kind of pains me too. See that Cam Newton? That's what I'm saying. If you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall for anything. And unfortunately, it kind of breaks my heart to see Cam Newton doing that. You know, all this to chase endorsements and all that. I spoke to a young man the other day when we were talking about that. He said like, "Oh yeah, I would do the same thing like that too." And I kind of like cut my eye at him and stuff like that. So I asked him, I said, "So you go ahead and sell your soul to white supremacy just for fame and fortune?" I'm sorry, it doesn't make sense to me. You have to have, as Bill Cosby put it, you have to have some type. We have to have standards. We have to have integrity, and more importantly, on top of that, we got to excommunicate and excruciate and extinguish a lot of these Sambos and these buck dancing handkerchief heads coons, because they are not a solution to our problems. They are more of the problem to the solution, and they are a detriment. No different than it is that these so-called thugs and these so-called and the hood rats who basically terrorize our communities and stuff like that. Now I know when I say this and stuff, watch, you're gonna have some troll come out there and say, "Shoot, it's always gonna be about black on black crime and all this stuff like that." Shut the fuck up. Crime is crime, period. If it's a community deprived of natural resources and economic deprivation and all that, crime is gonna happen. Shit, hell, you got crime in white neighborhoods as well. As I eloquently puts it every time on Fridays on my Friday show. What the fuck? I mean, WTF, White Thug Friday. And so that's just a little something just to shut the trolls up. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna check up out of here right now because I'm saying like that. I got a rendezvous at an undisclosed location. So this is Mr. O here. So before I sign off, let me go ahead and I'm gonna give my shout out to support the black-owned businesses. If you're here in the 305 area, Miami, particularly Liberty City area, and you want to go ahead and get your munch on, get some down-home cooked meals, come stop by over here by Kai's Kitchen 305. That's right on 762 Northwest 62nd Street, right there in Miami, Liberty City, but they call it Model City corporately, but it's still Liberty City. And on top of that, ladies, gentlemen, if you want to get your shoes repaired, or if you're looking for some Afrocentric wear, stop by here at Green and Sons. Talk to my man, Mr. Tyrone Green, and his wife. They the ones who sell it, and they so forth, everything, and they the best shoe repair business. They've been here for like 45 years, and they're not going anywhere. And we stand firmly behind them. And and also, if that's not more your taste, y'all want to go ahead and be a little bit more formal or semi-formal, check out Rasul's Sportswear too. Rasul Menswear, I'm sorry. That happens to be on Northwest 7th Avenue and 63rd Street, also right in Miami. All of them adjacent to each other, And if you get something that's too big, couldn't fit or whatever like that, take it to King's Tailor. That's right, which is on the corner of 62nd Street and 7th Avenue. Right next to what's it called? Right, reggae books and things too, which is another business I go to too. For all my Rastafarian family, you know, and you want to get something like there, like natural herbs, incense like there. Holler at my man Ozzy right there. He's been there for like 40, 30 years too. So you know what I'm saying? So we gotta support black owned businesses and keep the black dollar circulating throughout our neighborhoods. And yeah, also supporting the hashtag Bank Black movement too. We got our own black owned bank. In fact, we got two here in the state of Florida. One here in Miami, that's One United Bank, that's right there on 3275 Northwest 79th Street. That's in Miami. And we also, and if you're in Leon County, particularly Tallahassee, we also got the Florida A&M Credit Union too. That's also black owned. So, go ahead and if you don't, even if you're comfortable with your bank that you're currently with, I don't know who it is. It could be Chase, could be Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Citibank, Regions, TD Bank, whatever. I still say go there, open up an account anyway. If you can't make it over there to that branch, go online and you can still open it up. It's just the point of the matter, you know what I'm saying? Is support black owned banks, keep the black dollar circulating, build the economic power base. But I'm gonna talk more about that on historical and economic Saturdays. So this your man, the main man, Mr. O, the O Mason Show, signing off. I'm gonna see y'all later on tonight. Peace out.